There are things you should buy at Aldi, and there are things that, if you knew the truth, you would never want to touch. Beneath the neat display shelves, beneath the bright glow of promotional signs and flashy discount boards, lie secrets that very few consumers have ever seen. These secrets don't come from competitors, nor from rumors on social media. They come from those who have worked inside Aldi, those who have seen everything operate from behind the scenes. A former Aldi employee has officially spoken out, and what they revealed isn't hallway gossip or minor sales tricks. It's not just about pricing or attractive packaging. Behind those products lies severely reduced quality, dramatically shorter lifespan, and risks that directly impact your health. Unsafe food, cookware that leaks chemicals, electronic items prone to catching fire. Dangers that the system has never warned about. You once believed Aldi was always the place for smart shopping? Then get ready, because what is about to be revealed will make you ask yourself, how many truths have I overlooked, simply because I trusted too much? 1. Private label packaged bread. Packaged bread at Aldi often attracts shoppers with its unbelievable prices. Golden loaves arranged neatly on the shelves create a sense of convenience and savings, a choice that seems impossible to get wrong. For just a few dollars, you can bring home enough bread for the whole week, and most customers believe they are spending wisely. However, according to a former Aldi employee, those fragrant-looking loaves are not exactly what they seem. Many private label breads have been frozen in advance, then thawed and sold as if freshly baked. This process leaves behind silent consequences. The bread quickly dries out and crumbles after just a day or two, even while still within the printed expiration date. Worse still, uncontrolled thawing causes moisture imbalance, allowing mold to grow inside the loaf, something the naked eye cannot detect until it is too late. You are not just wasting money on a dried-out loaf. You are unknowingly bringing home bread that may be contaminated with mold, which can carry mycotoxins. These toxins can weaken the immune system, cause digestive infections, and in serious cases, become a long-term risk factor for chronic illness. A small saving today could result in medical expenses you never saw coming. If you truly want to bring home fresh and safe bread for your family, look to local bakeries where dough is kneaded each morning and the ovens still hold the warmth of freshly baked goods. Or choose professional brands, where each loaf is not just a product, but a commitment to quality and freshness. You may pay a few dollars more, but in return, you get real flavor, peace of mind, and the feeling that you chose what truly matters for your loved ones. Bread is only the beginning. Because behind those sweeter, crispier treats that seem made only to delight the taste buds, there are hidden traps that not everyone notices in time. 2. Snacks, chips, crackers. In the crowded aisles of Aldi, shelves filled with private label snacks, chips, and crackers always catch the eye. Crispy, colorful packages priced nearly half as low as major brands make it hard for anyone to look away. Just a few dollars for a large bag, an ideal snack for lazy afternoons or weekend get-togethers. People believe they are getting a bargain, satisfying cravings for what seems like a trivial cost. But the truth behind those attractive packages is not as sweet as you might think. According to a former Aldi employee, many private label snack products are made using low-cost frying oils, the kind that oxidize quickly when exposed to high temperatures and extended shelf time. Studies from Harvard Health Publishing have shown that oxidized, cheap oils produce free radicals, which silently damage cells, promote inflammation, and lay the foundation for chronic diseases such as heart conditions, diabetes, and cancer. The harm goes beyond a lackluster eating experience. Regular consumption of these low-quality snacks can gradually cause internal damage, the kind that doesn't announce itself with immediate pain, but only becomes visible once your health has deteriorated and the chance for recovery has passed. A carefree bite today could mark the beginning of consequences paid with time, health, and doctor visits you were never meant to face. Snacks are just snacks. But some things you buy as a gift to yourself, things that seem far more harmless, may quietly be costing you much more than you ever imagined. 3. Seasonal gift sets. Every holiday season, seasonal gift sets at Aldi are displayed across the aisles, large, vibrant boxes filled with chocolates, candies, tea bags, or decorative items, all marked at prices that make anyone stop and look. These are the perfect grab-and-go gifts for colleagues, neighbors, or distant relatives. Convenient, attractive, and saving you plenty of decision time. But that very convenience hides a truth few people notice. A former employee from the system shared that most holiday gift sets are composed of leftover seasonal inventory, discontinued products, or items near their expiration date, all repackaged with a new appearance. Most of the investment goes into the packaging, while what's inside is far from what it promises. Many chocolate bars have been reported to be chalky, bitter, or discolored. Some tea boxes are downgraded versions from mass production batches, without branding or clear origin. You think you're sending gratitude to loved ones, but that gift may be telling the recipient something else entirely. I didn't really care. What's lost isn't inside the box. It's in the look on the recipient's face. A gift that appears bright but contains only mediocre items, bitter chocolate, hollow cookies, tea with no known source, can lead to a forced smile and a box quietly set aside. No one says a word, but a subtle distance forms, and sometimes it only takes a moment like that to lose trust that was already paper thin. Sometimes a small gift chosen because it truly suits the person means far more than a pre-packed box chosen in haste. A box of pastries you once shared, a book that recalls something personal, or simply a handwritten card. These all speak louder than colorful wrapping paper ever could. And if seasonal gift sets can already be so emotionally empty, then ask yourself this: the everyday items you trust, the ones that seem perfectly safe, are they really worth your trust? 4. Ultra-cheap toilet paper. In a world of endless receipts, toilet paper is often seen as something where quality can be ignored as long as the price is low. At Aldi, private label toilet paper often comes in large bundles marked as maximum savings, giving the impression that you're buying a month's supply for the price of a single meal. And because it's something that gets thrown away, many people never question whether it's worth investing in. But behind that sense of savings lies another cost you might never expect. According to an employee who was involved in the inspection process, many Aldi private label toilet paper products are made from low-grade recycled materials, without advanced treatment and without proper testing for skin safety. The paper tears easily, feels rough, and lacks the thickness needed to protect areas of skin that are extremely sensitive, especially for children, the elderly, or those with allergic skin conditions. What you thought was just a disposable item may quietly be causing irritation, inflammation, and in many cases, repeated infections. Not to mention, because it's thin and weak, users are forced to use more and use it faster. That budget pack you bought, thinking you were being smart, ends up lasting only half as long as expected. Cheap at first, expensive later, in both money and health. You don't need to overspend on toilet paper. But you should choose types that have been safety tested, come from reputable brands, or simply don't make you hesitate every time you reach for a sheet. Because something that touches your body every single day, even in your most private moments, deserves to be treated with care. And if even a simple roll of paper can turn out to be a mistake, then what about the things you actually put inside your body? Are they really as safe as you believe? But for cheap fresh milk and organic milk. For many families, milk is an essential item in the shopping basket every week. And at Aldi, finding private label milk priced 25 to 30% lower than big-name brands is almost routine. A liter of fresh milk for under $2 seems like the perfect deal for anyone trying to cut costs. But low prices sometimes come from things consumers are not told. A former employee from the operations department revealed that some Aldi private label milk products, especially the so-called cheap organic fresh milk, are actually made from recycled raw ingredients, processed through multi-stage UHT treatment, but lacking proper final nutritional verification. Shoppers may not notice the difference at first, but after a few uses, they might detect an inconsistent taste or an unpleasant, greasy afterfeel. An independent 2020 review by Consumer Reports in the United States showed that certain low-cost private label milk lines at Aldi had significantly lower probiotic density compared to branded organic milk, while actual vitamin D levels deviated from what was listed on the label. This may not cause immediate harm, but in the long term, it directly affects calcium absorption, immunity, and bone development, which is especially critical for young children and the elderly. Choosing milk is not a difficult decision. Sometimes, simply prioritizing brands with clear origins, certified organic status, and third-party testing is enough to provide your family with something that cheap milk can never buy: peace of mind. A few extra cents today could mean years of reassurance in the future, a quiet investment that always pays off. And if something as simple as a box of milk, long associated with health, can be manipulated in this way, then what about frozen foods, where everything is hidden behind a layer of ice? 6. Frozen seafood. In the chilly aisles of Aldi, bags of frozen shrimp, fish, and shellfish at low prices are a familiar choice for busy shoppers. A convenient dinner, a protein-rich meal ready in just a few minutes of thawing, all for an unexpectedly low price. It seems like a smart option, economical, easy to store, and worry-free. But according to an employee who once oversaw the frozen food section, there is an unpleasant truth behind those seafood bags. Many of the products are imported from low-cost suppliers overseas and go through a cycle of freezing, thawing, and refreezing throughout transportation and storage. Each freeze-thaw cycle not only draws moisture out of the seafood structure, making the flesh dry and quick to spoil after defrosting, but also causes a significant drop in nutritional quality. In fact, some independent tests have found harmful bacteria exceeding safe levels in improperly handled cheap seafood products. The danger doesn't lie in taste. It hides deeper in the digestive system. Consuming poor quality seafood can lead to digestive issues, diarrhea, vomiting, and in severe cases, food poisoning. This is especially dangerous for children, the elderly, and those with weakened immune systems. A budget-friendly meal can sometimes end in sleepless nights at the hospital, a price no one considers when looking at the price tag on the packaging. If you still enjoy seafood, consider buying from dedicated seafood markets, large supermarkets with proper freezing systems, or products with safety certifications and clear sourcing. In the world of frozen food, sometimes what costs you the least may come with the highest risks. And if even frozen products, the ones we assume to be the safest, can turn into hidden traps, then what dangers might be lurking in fresh items like packaged chicken? 7. Packaged chicken. With affordable prices and trays of neatly arranged chicken in the cold section, Aldi makes choosing dinner for the whole family easier than ever. Chicken fillets, wings, drumsticks, everything is ready for the oven or frying pan. A protein-rich, convenient, and quick meal that seems like a choice you can't go wrong with. But there are things those plastic-wrapped trays don't tell you. A former employee from the fresh food section revealed that Aldi's private label chicken is sourced from multiple suppliers, depending on price optimization for each shipment. This means the quality of the meat is inconsistent. Some batches have an unusually mushy texture, with excess water pooling when the package is opened, a sign that the chicken has undergone multiple freeze-thaw cycles or was injected with water during processing. Worse still, the lack of strict sourcing controls opens the door to much greater risks. Bacterial contamination with pathogens like Salmonella or Campylobacter, names that are enough to make emergency room doctors shudder. Food poisoning from chicken is never a minor issue. It can cause acute diarrhea, rapid dehydration, severe intestinal inflammation, and for people with weak immune systems, especially young children and the elderly, it can even be life-threatening. Just one meal that seemed budget-friendly could lead to days of suffering in a hospital bed, with long-term consequences that no amount of savings could ever make up for. The safety of your meal is not something to gamble on. Choose chicken from stores that offer traceable sourcing, certified food safety, or better yet, buy from local farms you know and trust. Sometimes the cheapest thing you bring home turns out to be the biggest risk you carry. And if risks can so easily infiltrate something as carefully stored as chicken, then what about the things that seem harmless, like fresh produce? Are they really any safer? 8. Fresh fruits and vegetables. Nothing looks more wholesome and trustworthy than the fresh produce shelves at Aldi. Neatly tied bundles of celery, shiny cucumbers, bright red apples that look freshly picked. Low prices, vivid colors, and the appearance of having just arrived on the shelf that morning. People believe they've found nature's gift, without having to pay a high price. But no one knows the real age of those fruits and vegetables better than the person who stocked them each morning. Someone who used to inspect every bunch of greens and tray of fruit before opening hours shared that produce at Aldi is often not delivered daily, and inventory turnover can take more than 48 hours, sometimes longer at less busy locations. Many vegetables and fruits have already begun to wilt, soften, or bruise from the inside, but are kept on the shelf thanks to a shiny surface and protective plastic wrap. Worse still, some fruits like grapes and strawberries can begin to mold at the stem or underneath, places shoppers rarely notice. People bring them home expecting a healthy meal, but what they may actually bring back is bacteria, mold, and chemical preservatives that exceed safe levels if stored too long. For adults, it may just mean a mild stomachache, but for children, the elderly, or those with weakened immune systems, it could lead to gastritis, prolonged diarrhea, or even infection if the food is mishandled at home. Fresh fruits and vegetables should never be a game of chance. Choose stores with fast inventory turnover, specialized storage systems, or better yet, shop at local farmers markets where you can see, touch, and ask about the journey your food has taken. Because if even the healthiest thing in your cart, fresh produce, can be dressed up to hide its true age, then what should you believe about those convenient frozen meals where everything is concealed from the start? Instead of saving oil, you're spending on electricity. Pre-made pizza trays, frozen lasagna boxes, and those 5-minute microwave meals at Aldi are longtime favorites of busy shoppers. No need to plan, no need to cook. Just cut open the package, heat it up, and enjoy. In the fast pace of modern life, it's a tempting promise, filling your stomach while saving time. But someone who used to oversee frozen inventory once called these meals a trade-off most people don't recognize in time. Behind the foil wrap are ingredients scraped from the bottom rung of the quality scale. Artificial cheese, ground meat mixed with plant protein, sauces filled with corn syrup, and sodium levels 3 to 4 times higher than recommended for a single meal. These products are often mass-produced, deeply preserved with flavor stabilizers, and stored for long periods to maximize profit. You think you're eating a full meal, but in reality, it's a blend of empty calories and flavor enhancers. No nutrition, no vitality. The harm doesn't show itself immediately. Not as stomach aches, not as fever or nausea. It accumulates quietly. Visceral fat, gradually rising blood pressure, the slow onset of insulin resistance, little by little each day. And one day, a routine blood test might be the only thing that makes you realize it all began with those seemingly harmless meals. Instead of relying on ready-made meals, try preparing simple dishes yourself: vegetable stir-fried rice, bean soup, tuna salad. With just 15 to 20 minutes of cooking, you gain control over what enters your body, the very thing processed food companies prefer you stop thinking about. And if even a meal, the source of your daily energy, can be replaced with artificial cheapness, then what should you believe about vitamins, which are supposed to represent health itself? 1. Brandless floor rugs and doormats. In a quiet corner of the store, Aldi's supplement shelf is often passed by without much notice. But for those who care about their health, or simply want to take something just in case, a bottle of multivitamins priced at half the cost of those at the pharmacy feels like an irresistible deal. The labels say it all: B-complex, vitamin D3, immune support. And just like that, it goes into the cart as a kind of psychological insurance. But the truth, shared by a former employee in charge of the nutrition supplement category, is that not every pill deserves to be called a vitamin. Many of Aldi's private label products are manufactured in mass production facilities using low-cost synthetic ingredients with poor absorption. In some randomly tested batches, the actual amount of active ingredients did not match what was printed on the label. A report by the U.S. Pharmacopoeia once noted that many low-priced dietary supplements on the market have dosage discrepancies of up to 30%, and some fail to contain the nutrients they claim altogether. You don't feel anything right away. No pain, no fatigue, no warning signs. But with every cheap pill, your body gradually gets used to processing ingredients it doesn't actually need. The digestive process slows. The liver and kidneys, organs that work silently every day, are burdened with substances they were never meant to handle. Truly nutritious meals become fewer, replaced by a false sense of security every time you twist open a bottle of multivitamins. And then, during a routine blood test, you notice your numbers are off, not because you didn't try, but because you placed your trust in the wrong place. Health is not something you buy in a discount combo. If you truly need supplementation, choose products from brands with third-party certifications, verified by independent testing, and only take them with clear guidance. Or better yet, return to your dinner table, where real vitamins exist in the vegetables, fruits, and proteins you may have rushed past. And if something that represents health, those tiny pills, can be hollowed out just to be sold cheaper, then what about household items? The things that seem simple but live with you every day. 11. Cheap household items. In a quiet corner often overlooked, Aldi's household goods section displays pots, pans, and kitchen knives at prices that make many shoppers turn their heads for a second look. A knife set for just over $10, a non-stick pan costing no more than a lunch meal. For those trying to save, it feels like an opportunity too good to pass up, stocking the kitchen without thinning the wallet. But someone who once managed internal sourcing knows this well. In the world of low prices, quality is often the first thing to be compromised. Many of Aldi's private label kitchen items are mass-produced with cost-cutting materials, thinner metals, weaker non-stick coatings, and cheap welding. These items may look new at first, but within weeks of use, the non-stick surface starts peeling, knives lose their edge quickly, and handles loosen after the simplest cooking routines. You don't just end up spending more to replace them. You also risk introducing tiny particles into your meals, flakes from degraded coatings, microscopic metal shavings from low-quality knives, elements the body cannot digest or eliminate easily. Each time you cook, each time a blade hits the cutting board, you may be trading safety without knowing it. When it comes to kitchenware, cheap is never truly a bargain. A durable pan, a reliable knife, a pot with clear origin. These are not just investments for your kitchen, but for your health and daily peace of mind. What you use to prepare food for your family should never be chosen, simply because it was on a clearance shelf. And if even the simplest tools in your kitchen, the place that should symbolize care, can betray you for the sake of price, then how many other deceptions have gone unnoticed? If the very items you hold in your hands each day can quietly turn against you, how many other choices that seem harmless, are quietly leading you away from the safety you once trusted? 12. Ultra-cheap wine. Among the busy aisles of Aldi, the cheap wine section feels like a sweet invitation. A bottle of red wine for under $5, a sparkling white for the price of a Starbucks coffee. People stroll past with carts and casually toss in a few bottles, feeling as if they've uncovered a hidden treasure, elegance within reach. But someone who once worked in import operations revealed that not every wine dream is aged in picturesque vineyards. Most ultra-cheap wines at Aldi are the result of mass industrial production lines, where the grapes are not always fully ripe and the fermentation process is rushed, using chemical stabilizers to boost output. Instead of a natural aging process that lasts for months or years, many wines are accelerated in just a few weeks. The cost is poor flavor, harsh aftertaste, and a list of additives the label never fully discloses. You may not notice it in the first glass, but your body does. Additives, stabilizers, and high sulfite content quietly add to your fatigue, the dull headaches that follow each sip. Over time, the liver, the only organ capable of filtering out toxins, begins to carry a burden that no bargain price ever warns you about. A single toast made for savings might seem harmless, but the habit repeated over time is what slowly wears your body down. Not everything cheap is a trap. But when wine, the symbol of elegance, of slow enjoyment and refined taste, is turned into an industrial product stripped of its soul, perhaps it's time to ask ourselves, what else in life are we consuming blindly, just because it's easy to buy, easy to drink, and easy to swallow? We still believe that the price tag is all we have to pay, but sometimes the cheapest cost is the most expensive. A product, a meal, a vitamin, a glass of wine, each carries a story that no label will ever tell. Not everything at Aldi or any supermarket is a trap, but the greatest danger has never been the items on the shelf. It lies in the unconscious habits we form, in the blind trust we give so easily, just because something is cheap, just because it's convenient. No one can protect you better than yourself. Not through fear, not through suspicion, but through quiet awareness. A small moment of patience when you look at a product, a silent question in your mind. Is this truly good for me? Because sometimes the difference between a healthy life and a life worn down begins with one very small decision, right there, as you stand before the shelf.